Good morning, beloved. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is you are watching the broadcast. Hello, hello, hello. It's wonderful to be able to connect with you, wonderful to be able to say hi. What's happening? What's going on in your world? What are you up to? Blessings, blessings, blessings. I speak unto you. Hey, y'all. Good morning, Erica. Hey, honey bun. So good to see you. Hey, Tanya. Good morning, dear. Good morning, sis. Good morning. For those of you who are watching live, wonderful. I'm grateful. Let's do what we do. For those of you who will do hashtag and replay, I love it. I love it. Doing it at the time that works best for you. For those of you who will be on, and I may never know you're on. Good morning, Judith. Welcome, dear. Good morning. I'm grateful for you being on. For those of you who will be used by Papa down the road when I need to hear, all the good stuff that will encourage me to keep going on, then I am extremely grateful that you yield for you and for me. I'm grateful that you yield for you. I'm grateful that you yield for me. We all benefit from it, right? We all benefit from it. So, morning, 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 or whenever you're watching. So, today I am talking about the wake is behind you. The wake is behind. It's behind us, the wake. So, the wake is not you're in a boat, and if you look back, you'll see the water and the trail of the disturbed water, if you will, that, you know, how when a boat is going and the boat is going, but behind you is this wavy water that's all behind, right? And so if you think about that, good morning, Debbie Cocolo. Morning, morning. So if you think about that and you think about it from the sense of oftentimes when we look at our life, we will say, I am this way today because of this from yesterday. Or I can't do this today because of what happened to me yesterday. Or I am stuck in something because of yesterday. So because of the wake, if you will. So if you think about it from the stance of the wake, that which is following me, right? There's always a wake in our life, the thing that's behind us. There's always the thing that's behind us. Oftentimes we will say, that thing that's behind me, that's why I can't do this today because of what happened to me yesterday. And beloved, I want to honor. So first of all, I want to, hey, Brian, hey, sis. First of all, I want to honor what did happen yesterday, right? I want to honor that. And I want to say, yeah, it has an effect and it can have an influence. But I also want to remind us that that is yesterday. Yesterday is in, a month, 7 months, 7 years, 17 years. How many of us are still limited by what happened to us, by our wakes, if you will? How many of us are still locked in our past because of our wakes? Do you know? How many of us are still hemorrhaging because of the wake? So, really, beloved, the weight can't touch us today. So if you notice that that's in the back of us, it's the trail that we leave behind. The trail that we leave behind is never right here in our future. It's never right here in our present. The trail that we leave behind is never in our present. But do you know how it becomes to influence our presence? How it comes to be in our presence? Good morning, Brian. Good morning, sis. It comes to be in our presence by us keeping it alive today, right? If we keep looking back at it and we keep rehearsing that this is what happened and we keep focusing on what we can't do because of the thing that wasn't there. So it's interesting because it's funny. So in my new book, I tell the story of like moving from a scarcity mindset to living from a place of abundance, to living in a place of knowing that all things are possible, that all things are possible for me, that the only limitation that I have is the limitation that's in my mind. Do you see? So the new book talks about that. However, as that was unearthing in me, right, as it was being understood and discovered and all of that, as it was unearthing in me, at some point I heard myself telling the same story, this story of what happened to me, right? My experience with the predominant message in our country in major media and the absence of representation of little Black girls like me in the media, and how that kind of limited my how I you'll have to read the book, but I'll talk about it a little bit more clear at another time because that's not really the point. However, it's because I kept looking back and I wasn't even aware of it. I wasn't even conscious, but I kept telling that story. And in telling the story, I would still feel similar limitations in my presence, even though, even though that was from my past. And so much had happened since then that didn't support the story anymore, except that I kept rehearsing the story when I would tell it. Now, it's a difference between telling your story and, the whole thing, how I got over, right? How I got over. But I would tell the story and it would still, I was telling a story as to why I couldn't do something today because of what had happened to me yesterday. I was the wake was still, I was making the wake alive today until I had to end that chapter and add a new part to the story. Yes, that did happen, but what's your new part? That did occur, and what? Do you see the wake is back there? The wake is what happened. Now you're going to add something to the story. And that's what I had to do. And that's what the book is about. The discovery of the story, the telling of the story, the still feel limiting by the story, which is the wake, still feel limiting by the wake. And if we just stop there, if we just, go to the back of the boat and keep looking at it saying, oh, because of you, today I can't. Imagine that, going to the back of the boat, looking at the water that's behind the boat. That water, that white, frosty water that's happening because of the paths or the trail that the water's leaving behind, saying to the trail, you're stopping me. I can't do this because you won't let me. You're hindering me from being what? In a sense, that's what I was doing. I didn't know it. Till one day I heard myself rehearsing this story. I'm like, girl, you're not stuck. You got to add some more to this story. This is a part of your story. But what are you going to add? What you say, Erica? I can't stop thanking you because you teach us to keep it moving. Don't allow those things to control your mindset. Our growth is what we make of ourselves. Confidence, self-love, and determination helps us overcome that past. Wow, you said that so well, honey. I love how you said that. Keep it moving. Don't allow those things to control us today. Our mindset. And it is our mindset. Is exactly what it is. It's the mindset. And every time I told that story, I would have similar feelings of limitation, similar feelings of powerlessness, similar feelings of being stuck, similar feelings of things being way too big and there's nothing I can do about it and not that thing. The crazy thing, though, the crazy thing in that in so many other areas of my life, like I'd done crazy, successful things, but this one area, it was still reminiscent, very reminiscent of limitation. So it seemed it was like I took the limitations. I took all the limitations that I received as a little girl. I took all those limitations and ciphered them into this one area. So it was my mindset around money is what it was. I took all the limitations and put it in there. And I'm soaring over here and soaring over there and soaring over here and soaring over here. And this one, I'm just like my mind, I had a ceiling. I had a ceiling that and a way of engagement that just was not productive at all. And I didn't know it. No matter how much I tried to do something different, I would always find myself back to the same place. So you read the book, y'all. It's called Freedom is Your Birthright. It is a #1 bestseller on Amazon. So read the book. And yeah. I love it, Erica. I love what you said. Our growth is what we make ourselves. So one of the things that the conclusions that I came to is one of conclusion. I forgot my thought. Happy Monday, Keisha Yearby. Happy Monday, says so good to see you. Yeah. So you're welcome, honey. So one of the things that I came to was, Kathy, you keep saying the same things. And every time you tell the story, you keep being limited. So it's interesting because the community that I was where this all really unearthed, that community where it all unearthed, my coach, and she's the one who did the forward in the book. And she's a profit coach. She shows you where the money is. And man, when I tell you, that thing kept being slapped in my face. So the thing that was my Achilles heel, I'm so grateful to God that he led me right into that camp. It was like, you need to know your messages. You need to know where you're limited. You need to know how you are allowing the wake of your life to determine your present day reality. That's your past. That is your past. And the only way your past comes alive today is if you keep it alive. And one day it was I'll never forget. I think I was on a coaching call with her, and she was coaching me to with this model, this amazing model that she has. She was coaching me, and I was, I kept resisting, like I was just resistant. I didn't know it. I didn't know I was resistant. It felt like terror. I was afraid. That's what it felt like. It felt like terror. And every step just felt like a minefield. I felt powerless, right? As I felt powerless, I kept feeling those same feelings that I had as a child over and over and over again. And it was so terrifying. And it was so, however, there's a part of me. So in the book, I says that my soul kept screaming, there is more. And my soul kept screaming, there is more. So even though I was terrified, I kept coming back. I kept coming back, but I kept shrinking. I was coming back, but I was shrinking. I was coming back, but I was shrinking. I was coming back and I was shrinking. I was coming back and I was shrinking a little less. I was coming back and I was coming back and I was coming back and I was coming back. And Eventually, I just showed up without the shrink, without the shrink. And then I remembered realizing, oh, Kathy, you can't keep telling that story like that. Like you can't. That's a story of limitation, and you are not limited. And so then then Matthew 7:7 took on a different truth for me. Ask, and it is given. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door is opened unto you. Ask. But beloved, the asking, this is what I had to know. The asking cannot be an ask of desperation. It cannot be an ask where you're desperate, because when you do, you're not trusting. You're not walking in faith and belief that it is already done. Do you see? So I had to get all of these revelations, and y'all, I'm just saying, these are new revelations for me. I got this revelation. Well, I started the revelation in 2020. That's when it started unearthing. That's when the story started coming to light. That's when I learned that there was this internal dialogue happening in my life around money, right? Money. But money for me was represented by, so limitation for me was represented about money. And I made a lot of money. So it's not that I couldn't make money. It was my mindset around money. So, right, it was that. You can make a whole lot, but if you don't keep it, right? If you don't manage it well, then you don't, that whole kind of thing. So it was mindset around it. But the crazy thing, now I'm processing out loud, y'all. I'm talking, I'm just, the story is still unfolding. Look, I done told the story in the book, right? I've written the book, but I'm still living it, right? I'm still living it. I'm still living the unfolding of it. And I no longer tell that story from the past determining my now. I am aware. Papa needed me to be aware to know I'm aware. And so I know that my past does not get to dictate my present. I know that. And I didn't know, and I knew it then, but I didn't know that it was happening. If you get me. I knew that, like I knew the concept, but I didn't know that some of my experiences around money was because I had this limiting belief about, right, my abilities and things like that. So a scarcity mindset, the belief that there's not enough for me, for my dreams to come true. There's not enough, and there's nothing I can do about it. Imagine that. That was playing in the background of my mind. There's not enough for you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Not enough for you. Not for people like you. Not for little Black girls who grew up in the inner city of Detroit, who grew up under the poverty line. It ain't enough for you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Imagine if that's playing in your background. Now, the crazy thing is you wouldn't have seen that, like, for all the things that I've been able to do in my life, the things that I've been able to accomplish. So this is the book, and I'm not going to talk about the whole book, but it still blows my mind. It still blows my mind. But let me tell you, Papa is relentless. Papa is relentless. He was like, not so, Catherine. Not so. So he would expose me. He would put me, and you got to read the book. Shout out to my spiritual mom, my spiritual dad too. Spiritual dad, of course. They are a team. They're a tag team. But I said it about her because of her exposure. I talk about it in the book, how she exposed us to this thing and how it was an Achilles heel for me back then, but I didn't know it. But I'm so grateful for her relentless determination that we would know better, see better, and experience more. So Margie, hey cuz, morning to you cuz, happy Monday, hallelujah. Anyhow, amen, amen. It's enough for all of us if we just believe. Girl, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Like, there's no limitation to a pie. And one of the reasons that we struggle so much is because we believe there's a limitation. So You know, you heard of the concept of crabs in a barrel, where we all kind of try, pulling each other down because we believe that there's a limitation. There is none. There's no limitation, y'all. None. So it's important for us to know that, to believe that, to walk it out, and to keep moving it forward. There is no limitation. There's only more. There's only more. So there's more for you. You have more for you. I have more for me. And our responsibility is to live from that place of more, becoming more. Because my soul kept screaming, there is more. All right, beloved, I love you. I love you so much. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow, again, 5:40 a.m., or watch the replay. Leave a comment, and then make sure you watch Friday. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. I see that. Friday at 11:30 a.m. Friday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go to 313watkins.com. 313watkins.com. There are lots of other ways to watch it, but people who attempted to watch it some of the other ways, it seems like they didn't quite get to do it. And so I want to make sure that you here we go. 313watkins.com, WHPR TV live stream. 313 Fridays at 11:30 to noon. It was an amazing first show. This is our first live from the show. If you didn't watch it, I'll find out today how you can watch it on YouTube. But it was an amazing first show. It felt like breathing for me, y'all. It felt like breathing. It really did. My auntie called and she was like, "You're such a natural." And I appreciated that comment. It really did feel like breathing. I'm so very grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for the push from Papa. I'm grateful for the confidence, Erica. I'm grateful for even the knowing, just the knowing that this is a part of my path. And since it is, make it happen. So whatever is a part of your path, yield and do your part. Yield. Position yourself to receive from Papa. Hear what you need to hear and do your part, beloved. Do your part. Show up in your life. I really enjoyed the energy of the show. I'm proud of you, sis. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah. Yeah, do your part. It really did just feel normal and natural. Like this feels normal and natural, right? And just showing up as you. Wherever you find yourself, show up as you. And you will be blessed by that. You will be blessed by showing up as you and by not having a pretense of something other than. All right, beloved, at the moment that Abba gave us our breath, me and you, we forfeited, we relinquished. What you say? By you doing your part, you help so many people. Thank you, honey bun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We forfeited, we relinquished, we gave up the right to not be amazing. You and I, we do not have the right to not be amazing. I love you. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.